Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for watching Dragonfly Gardens. Let's get right to it. Let the show begin. Today we're going to be talking about something very, very interesting and different. In my case, I like to do what I call DIY bonsai. And that is where, as you can see, a lot of my pots are handmade. Now, I wanted to point out something to you guys because a lot of people are paying a lot of money for older pots to try and get, because obviously with the bonsai, it's to emulate an older tree. Even if it's a younger tree, we're always going for like an older look. So people end up paying a lot of money for these old bonsai pots. But I have a trick. I used to do furniture, and I will put my style of doing furniture is to put age on furniture, so I like to make furniture look even older than it is, and you can easily apply that to bonsai. So with this pot, I'll take this, you could probably guessed it, take this sandpaper, and you just roughen up the edges, roughen up the top. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to show you on this one corner here how the sandpaper, and you can do this with a clay pot, you can do this with a plastic pot. This is a plastic pot. You can do this with pretty much any type of pot. Just make sure it's a pretty fine grit of sandpaper, because essentially what you're doing here is you're trying to get the look of the sands of what I call the sands of time. So over time, the sand particles and the dust in the air will whip with the wind, and it will give everything that's outdoors this older look, because it's been affected by the sands of time. So you can easily get the sandpaper and do that yourself. Now, another trick in this bag, in case you're wondering, it's not dog poop, it's ginkgo seeds. So I have ginkgo seeds. That's for another video, though. I'm going to be planting ginkgo seeds. But right here is this little Yamadori bonsai, but underneath it, if you see, is these. You can get these for $1. It doesn't say on the back on the price, but at Lowe's they're $1.25. These are saucers for the bottoms of pots. But what I've done is, this is going to make a very nice bonsai pot, because I've drilled holes into it. I've got 2 of them. I've drilled holes into it, lots of drainage holes. I'll put wire in it, and this will be my bonsai pot. I paid $1 for it, and it's actually going to look pretty cool. I can even paint it. Since I sanded it like that, it would take paint really, really well. But I actually just kind of like the sanded, worn down look. I like that. So I think I'll just keep it. If anything, I would dry brush this with white. Just dry brush, though, to even more accentuate all those sand marks. That would look cool and still keep the age on it. So there's a lot of cool techniques that you can use in bonsai that do apply for getting around paying, you don't want to pay $125 for an old bonsai pot that is this size, or just because it's old. You can emulate that and do the tricks yourself. So I thought these were cool. I found these at IKEA. These were like really, really cheap, just to put stuff in. I might put my tools in one of them like that, but also I think I'm gonna do a bonsai out of one of them. I think that'd be cool to have one hanging over the side there. So you can, when you're looking for a pot or a vessel for your bonsai, it doesn't always have to be a traditional bonsai pot. I mean, especially when you're growing them out. In here, I'm growing out like hundreds of little trees, and it's in a basket. It's in just like a basket with holes. I've even got some cuttings in here. Trees, cuttings, pretty much everything in there. So bonsai is all about getting creative for me. So always get creative. It doesn't mean that you can't get a traditional bonsai pot as well. Here's a pretty traditional one that's still plastic, but you know, here's a more traditional one that it doesn't have feet on it. It's interesting. It's kind of a different one. It's made out of hemp. It has these. It has the aeration holes in the bottom are just wild. It's a honeycomb. So that's really cool. There's all different types of bonsai pots, but if you're just getting into the hobby, or you're in the hobby and you're sick of spending so much money, it doesn't always have to be about the money. I mean, here's a future bonsai that's a mulberry that has really small leaves. Look at the diameter on the leaves. That's pretty. It's gonna make a pretty good bonsai, and it's cool because it has fruit. It's always fun to have a bonsai that'll create some fruit, and also they really like being cut back, and then they do fruit and flower from the new wood right after they get cut back. So it kind of makes a perfect candidate for a bonsai. But you can tell how this is a cutting, and I'm growing it out in this big pot for years to get growth on it. You never want to rush your bonsai. It's all about patience. Same with these fig cuttings. It's all about patience. Let them grow out. This one from seed in a plant in a pond basket. Got this for $1. Pond basket. Really good option for growing out your bonsai. So once you realize that it doesn't actually have to be a bonsai pot to create your bonsai, you can actually open up a whole new world where things are a lot more affordable. I know that things can get kind of crazy in the world of bonsai, or any hobby really. You know, you can go extreme and kind of talk your way out of it. But right here, I've just showed you so many different examples of untraditional, what I would call untraditional DIY bonsai plant pot. And this is one. This is one of my oldest ones, and one of my first ones. When I saw the feet on it like this, see the feet? It just immediately, and the flare out right there, it immediately made me think, oh, that's like a bonsai pot. It's a drainage catchment system, actually. And in there I have my bonsai. Pretty old. It's a Japanese privet evergreen. Very interesting bonsai, and still in its grow out phase. This is kind of like its training catchment thing, but I might paint this. But you can see I could even take the sandpaper to this if I wanted. Make this look, see that? Even just right there, a little spot. Looks a little bit more aged, and it looks like it fits in better. Look at this little guy. You can tell that this is not a seedling, actually. This is an older tree that's been cut back. It's a Yamadori. But see that, how the sandpaper gives it the age? And then if I want to go in and do a dry brush or paint this, I could really fine tune this while spending no money and just really make it look better. Here's an even bigger one. This was $6. This is what, and it's pretty dang shallow. This is what this tree will be moved into next year. So it's about the same diameter around as the one it's in now, but it's a lot thinner, and that'll be its final spot. And I've already got it ready. It's all sanded up. I did it. Looks pretty cool with the actual clay pot color, because it almost makes it look like more of a clay pot, like it's been all roughed up, you know. Pretty cool. I like that. I don't know if I like the black. I do like black because it's kind of like the theme of everything, but the clay pot, I think, warrants itself better to that sanding technique, making it look more believable. And it's plastic, and they're pretty dang durable. So yeah, I thought I'd get on there and show, or get on here and show that tip off. You can also, if you don't want to buy anything, you can use your old nursery pots that you saved and just cut off the top, make them shallower. I do that too. Which one did I just did that to this one. And then the moss, I'm not paying for the moss either. You just get that, get it respectively and resourcefully from an area near you, but don't take all the moss, just all that you need. And moss will gladly grow on your bonsai and be warrant itself to making everything look like a finished product much quicker than it would typically. So yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. Hope you were inspired by this to have your hand at some DIY bonsai, and if you were and you enjoyed the content, I'd really appreciate if you tap the subscribe and the like button. I really can use the support. And everyone have a great day. Thank you for watching. Most importantly, keep growing. Peace.